Get your goalie here. All right, so there's a few teams that are in need. You got Markstrom, you got Elvis, you got Saros, you got Allen. These are guys that could be on the market, could be had, and I often say this, if you don't have a top goaltender, then you're frantic as an organization, and the Devils right now might find themselves in that spot. Now, they've got goalies on their roster. Most of them are young. Most of them may be good at some point, but we're not so sure right now. And the Markstrom potential this week, last week, lots of conversations. That deal falls through. We start there. EJY.
Well, he's the best goalie on the market, if you ask me. It was Hellebuyck and Markstrom kind of to start the season, right? And then Hellebuyck signed the extension to stay in Winnipeg, so he was off the table. And now you have Markstrom. I mean, UC Saros is a real good goaltender. He's got another year left in Nashville, so maybe that's a possibility. I mean, you got to remember, the Predators have Askarov playing in the minors, and their minor league team has played very well. He was a first-round pick and I think a top 15 first-round pick, and he's very highly thought of. So the fact that the Nashville Predators might be willing to trade UC Saros to me isn't a crazy idea. But they've got to get something significant in return for him, so that's where the rub might be. With Markstrom, he's got 2 more years after this left on a contract. He's playing. Weeksy, give me your thoughts from a goaltending perspective. I watched him again play against the Rangers last night. Boy, I thought he was just spot on. It's amazing to me that this is the guy that, remember when he had that meltdown in the playoffs 2 years ago against the Oilers where he just couldn't stop anything? Last year was a struggle, but boy, he is back on track this year. I just was really impressed.
Yeah, Jason LaBarbera, their goalie coach, longtime NHLer.
Yeah.
Jason LaBarbera's done a nice job of retuning and resetting Jacob Markstrom. Markstrom looks every bit as good as he did right now during his time in Vancouver. Yeah. When he was excellent there under Ian Clark.
Even 2 years
and even
ago
the first year in Calgary.
It's kind of been a roller coaster ride for him.
Most of the year was really good. Then he got into that second round of the playoffs against Edmonton, and it just fell apart. Now, playing against McDavid and Draisaitl, those guys could do it to you. But he is locked in right now. And if I'm the Devils, I'm trying to figure out, move heaven and earth and try to make it happen because they've got good players. They score goals. Wouldn't it be wonderful for them to have a guy like Markstrom, that can make them feel a little bit more comfortable about the way they play?
I've been saying this here for a while, and we've been talking about it. We've been on the showcase games together discussing this stuff. I just look at it this way, quite simply, right? Because it's fresh off Super Bowl. You think Andy Reid, the night before games, is biting his fingers down to a nubby? No. We got 15 back there. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Let's go line up.
Yeah.
And for years, the Devils had that, of course, and they've had it in different iterations. But they had it in the great number 30, my teammate Marty Brodeur. They've had it when Corey Schneider was there. You've had it from different elements, right? But all that to say, you're right. If we can put out these good young pieces, Luke Hughes, Jack Hughes, Bratt, Heischer, Dawson Mercer. Now we're bringing Tyler Toffoli. We have Andre Palat. We've got a squad now. Yeah. Simone Nemec. Now we've got a squad. But if we had a goalie that's 2-3 ticks above what we're getting right now, and there's no knock on Vanacek. I've been a supporter of his since he's in Washington. But where the team is now, if they were to go out and get a goalie, I think that catapults them, and it allows them to play their style, up-tempo, fast, and skilled.
And they were let's not forget, they were a Final 8 team last year.
That's right.
I mean, it wasn't like this is a team that squeaked into the playoffs. I mean, they were really good all last year, over 100 points. They got high-end players, to your point. Now is the time. And if they had a guy in their system that I felt like, okay, he's coming, like we just talked about Nashville, have Askarov. New Jersey, they don't have that player in their system. I mean, Dawes played last night. He played okay. I don't know if he's going to go tonight, but, he's not somebody that's going to blow your socks off right now. So, for me, if I'm the Devils, I think their chance to win is starting now. You can get a Markstrom in there, boy, it would make your team way better.
And, sorry, quickly, and here's the thing. This goes back to the draft. When we're in Nashville for the draft. So, obviously, they had some conversations potentially around Connor Hellebuyck. That kind of cooled. Hellebuyck ends up signing his extension. He stays there. So next up, it's Markstrom. There's no question about it. He's the best guy that's out there.
And he's got 2 years left.
2 years remaining.
At a reasonable rate.
I know, and again, it's not our money, but
no, but here's the point. You can't buy champagne with beer money.
You're right.
So you can't go into the club and order Veuve Clicquot and then say, man, just give me that. I'll give you this for the Coors Light right here. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
You can do it.
It doesn't work.
You can do it, but it's just really bad champagne.
Exactly. You can wash the car with that champagne.
Yeah, it's not good.
It can help clear out the lenses on your headlights. That's not what you want to be drinking. No. So if you're them, again, it's the price of regret. is often more expensive than the price of acquisition. Think about that. If the Devils aren't in the playoffs in Metro New York, we're coming up on a big Stadium Series weekend. Exciting team, young players, young star players. They got to get in the playoffs. Metro New York area here in New Jersey, like, they got to get in the postseason, man.
All right, so let's say the door is closed on Markstrom, and I don't know if it is. Who would be your option number 2? Is it Saros, the guy they're going to see tonight?
UC Saros. I know they've been having some conversations with UC Saros in Nashville to be able to re-sign him. Now, the calculus is different for a couple reasons. Number one, UC Saros is a Predator already, right? So does he take what people think is a bit of a team-friendlier deal, per se, than what the market could yield? Number two, tax advantages in the state of Tennessee, no state income tax, which is also big. So can they get to that number? But Eej kind of teased something earlier in Askarov, Yaroslav Askarov, that they have in the AHL Milwaukee right now with Carl Taylor doing a great job. They've won 14 straight. Tonight they go for 15 straight wins. So now if you're UC Saros, who I'm very high on and always have been high on, you could also argue he's been one of the better netminders all year long. But you're also kind of feeling it. Yeah. Now, if you're him, you can, but you could. Now I'm kind of feeling it a little bit. We got this guy coming. I love being here. Yeah. I want to stay here. The fans are great. It's a great place to play. Except that this guy's nipping at my heels. Now this guy's biting at my heels. Kind of how do we navigate this right now? So, but the Devils are in on him. He's another guy that has interest. Elvis Merzlikins, they've had interest in as well. And Eej, I'll kick it to you. Tommy Fitzgerald. Where did he play? Original Nashville Predator.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, he's got
a lot of connections there in Nashville.
He's got connections there, but he's made trades with the Calgary Flames.
He has too.
Right. So
you're right.
So those conversations, March 8th is the trade deadline, right? So I mean, there's time. But with each passing day for the Devils, the problem is if you start to disconnect and you struggle, and now you're 8 points out of a playoff spot instead of 3. It makes it harder for you. And they got a tough week coming up. I mean, they got the second of a back-to-back tonight in Nashville after a home game last night, a good performance against Seattle. Then they come back home to take on L.A., an L.A. team that I saw them play against Edmonton the other night. I mean, it looked like a totally different team, like the team we saw earlier in the year. So they're going to be a handful right now. Then they got that outdoor game against Philly. And think about the start of the season. We see when we talked about the Stadium Series game, the Devils, who had been, I said, Final 8 team, playing really well, Jack Hughes, the whole thing, great year, and the rebuilding Philadelphia Flyers.
And now
the Philadelphia Flyers they're back winning again. All of a sudden, this is kind of a must-win game, a must-win week for the there it is. The clock is ticking, baby.
The clock's ticking.
There it is.
Zoom in, Thunder Dad.
I'm with you.
The clock's ticking right now. It's ticking.
Yes, it is.
As we were shoveling that snow here in Jersey today and around the area, a lot of the fans, hey, what's going to happen? Weeks, what are we doing? Are we going to get that goalie? We saw the report. Are we going to get somebody? Clock's ticking.
Another minute has just gone by.
Another minute just went by. Hey, you know what happens? When the clock's ticking, the price goes up.
See, I think if we zoomed in, by the way, we should also zoom in and like cut off half your face.
Yeah, please do that.
Hits,
yeah, please do that.
Yeah, all that
the price is going
there
up.
There it is.
It is going up, people.
I'm just glad you got a new phone.
Yeah, me too. I had to elevate. I had to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
3 weeks from now, do the Devils have one of those 4 that were just on the graphic? Maybe someone else. Is someone else in net for them 3 weeks from now?
I think they've got to have an addition to that team. I mean, Merzlikins is kind of he's one of those ones. It's low risk and potentially high reward because he has shown the ability, Weeksy, to be a really good goalie in this league. And it's hard in Columbus where they've had a lot of struggles there. He's had personal challenges there, right, with the passing of a good friend,
correct,
the former goaltending partner there. So there are some that would say that Merzlikins maybe needs a change of scenery, and maybe that would be something that'd be really good for him. That'd be a little more risky to me. I think that Markstrom is the best because he's playing really well right now. He's got 2 more years left on a deal. You don't have to worry about it after this. And that's right. He's a big, strong guy, great glove hand. There's a lot to like. So for me, he's the guy to go get.
I agree. I just don't see, to answer you, I don't see, if we're here, right, in Jersey, Metro New York here the next 3 weeks, I don't see it status quo.
Yeah, I don't either.
It can't be.
I don't know how you sell that to your fan base.
It can't be, because down the turnpike, Eej is all over it. Down the turnpike, the Flyers are 3rd in the Metro.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're pushing, right? And now if you're the Devils, you can look at this and say, hey, here's our opportunity. The Leafs are without Morgan Riley in the East for 5 games.
Yeah.
What can we do? Maybe we could snag some points off the table. We end up making this deal. We keep pushing. Washington, I know, whatever, but should they win, the 4 points out if they end up winning this game? So it's so tightly contested right now in the East. Why not take your shot? I think this Devils team they're a very good organization. I like what my man Fitzy's doing. Full disclosure, I played with Tom Fitzgerald before. I played with Marty Brodeur before. They're in the front office. This team's trending in the right direction. They're an exciting team. Imagine they get a tender.
Yeah.
Each, how you feeling?
Listen, you can't. You're not going to win when you have subpar goaltending. You know, everybody knows it has been around hockey. You have to be good goal, and then the better it is, the better. Even the Boston Bruins, right? Record-setting season last year, right near the top again this year. You watch their games night after night. The reason the Bruins are really good is both those goaltenders are excellent, and night after night, they keep them in games, even on nights when they're not playing as well. So you 100% need the goaltending. If the Devils don't figure out a way to get the guys they have there way better, or to go out and add somebody to the mix, this is going to be a struggle. They may miss the playoffs this year.